What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 11 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Tamurkhan the Maggot Lord Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Norvegicus once again was tested and came very, very close to dying, or at least he himself did, dropping down to a tiny sliver of HP, but his army did survive. We still haven't lost a unit in it, and Grimgor's main armies, for now, are broken. I do imagine they'll recover before we take out the rest of their 6 territories here, and judging by the balance of power, they still have a stack somewhere. Clearly there's a full stack around, so we'll probably have to deal with that. They might have been recovering it here or here or here, and well, hopefully Norvegicus will have a decent amount of HP by the time we get to it, or maybe hopefully he doesn't, so that he gets yet another test. And in terms of what we've got to do this turn, we do have a potential battle against Deluric the Wild with some units of Malevolent Treekin and stuff, but you know, we still got to have Tamurkhan's army do things, like kill things after all, so it makes sense to do so. It's a little bit of a shame that this is going to take basically our entire movement. But I guess there isn't really much else to do, so we're gonna strike. You guys don't need levels, at least certainly not for this, and we did use a turn to ambush just outside here specifically so that we could fight this army. And away we go.
Maggots bloom.
Alrighty, well it seems that the maggots have already started to bloom through this field that Vibabolos is trampling through. I don't imagine that the path where a toad dragon walked will ever be usable again, or in the sense that it'll be filled with the cancerous mutations of a Nurgle. Anyway, here we go. Looks like the enemy is arrayed against us upon a hill, not taking advantage of the elevation really, or of the more difficult crossing that the river would offer them, but at the same time taking some advantage of the cliffside here. If they had more range units in their army, if this was a standard Wood Elf army rather than the Malevolent Forest Spirits army, this would probably be a fairly decent position, and in fact they could still probably make use of some of this and the cliffside, but anyway, not like the AI's deployment really matters. And we're going to charge in with the Rot Knights as the leaders of our host. The first of the leftmost flank units will smash into some enemy spiders. And by the looks of it, not send any of them flying. The spiders are fairly decently massive with 700 mass, but I think mounted units can't be sent flying, so that explains that. Now out here, our other unit of Rot Knight has charged in, but the enemy has countercharged them, popping Enfeebling Foe on the Rotten Circle, and surrounding them and hitting them with 2 units of Bears and the Great Hawks. Now, I will grant you, the Bears lost like 60% of the HP they had here, and maybe another 30% here, and the Hawks lost half. But they took about half the HP off the Rotten Circle and 4 of their units besides. So, fairly impressive, I would say. Good job to them. With that said, Fleshy Abundance comes in from our Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle, healing them right up, and the Curse of the Leper will follow, massively increasing their armor and giving them that melee damage. Reflection, hopefully allowing them to obliterate those bears without losing any additional units. Still very impressed. It's nice to see the Rot Knights tested by something, as they do have a little bit of a tendency to just, well, do this and just completely overrun enemy positions without too much trouble, at least so far. Out here, it looks like we've moved into some of our Chaos Chariots, but they are protected by the Skinwolves, so those Great Hawks shouldn't have too much of a chance at bringing them down. Grukmar has summoned a Cygor into the middle of the enemy formation, but mostly just to act as a tank, and because I don't find that Cygor summoning ability particularly useful, especially with summoned units degrading and all that. If summoned units were to stay on the field permanently, then yes, that would have its use because we could actually use it as artillery, but a few throws and the thing melts away, so there's not the... oh, nice stagger. There's not too much use out of that. Now... You know what they should have done with the stagger animations with giant units? It always feels weird that, you know, a unit like a giant or a malevolent tree man, in this case, ancient tree man, just falls over, and then the other unit just waits. Like, just waits there. I don't think a toad dragon would politely wait for their enemy to get up. I'm pretty sure it would stomp on them, etc, etc, etc. And it's not limited to toad dragons either, so they probably should have done something about that. Anyway, the battle continues. Our Rot Knights have been joined by Plague Ogres, and now over on this side they've completely overrun and destroyed and those Malevolent Dryads, while our infantry are still fighting some bears and hawks over on their other flank. Neither part of the battle is going particularly poorly for us, as the most damage I think we've taken was to those Rot Knights due to the enemy's countercharge, and it's unlikely that they will deal any more. Ogres puking and sending or swinging those big old axes alike. And it'll be nice once we have 6 of these guys in the army. I really wish that so many of the units that we want were so ludicrously expensive. Like, even a single Fimir unit is like 300 plus in terms of upkeep. Everything is so expensive. A single army with all of these units is just gonna cost us like 6,000 plus gold. But anyway, looks like this first battle is over. The enemy will shatter and book it on out of there. Oh, a little bit of damage on these Chaos Warriors of Nurgle. I guess those bears and hawks did manage to dish out some damage to them after all, but this is certainly not enough damage for them not to recover. Fairly short battle, but not to worry, we won't end this episode without finding another decent, solid fight. These may be shorter episodes nowadays, but at the same time, we probably won't end any with only a single battle, unless it's a really major one. And I believe the 13th episode is when we traditionally lower the threshold once again, so maybe we'll get the threshold going there again. Anyway, for now, all right, a nice little fight. I was impressed with the countercharge of the enemy Great Hawks and Bears and Shrieking into our Rot Knights there, knocking a few of them out and reducing the third of our unit of Rot Knights, the Rotten Circle, down to about half of their HP before they were recovered via Fleshy Abundance. So, good job. Delurg, he put up more of a fight than I thought he would. Tamurkhan spent pretty much most of his time dueling the enemy Lord, and I know that I probably shouldn't have him do this, but it always just feels right to have the Lord duel the enemy Lord, you know? And so that's what we did. Anyway, we're gonna occupy Kislev, reoccupy Kislev, and yet again I should say, and pop it back into, I guess, Plague Gods and Nursery. Not that it really matters. And I guess we'll rebuild the Cultist camp. I don't know whether we'll ever be investing it, but this is a small enough investment to not really care about the place. Alright, and River Urskoy is this very province, so we don't have to worry about that either. Alright, Igorov, Fort Jakova, we're not really investing into anything here because it's too close to enemy lines and we don't have time to police it nor to defend it, as we really don't want to spend the money. Economy is pretty much the only problem with the Nurglite faction, at least in the early game, until you have sufficient technologies to bump it up, because we don't have access to trade, and our post-battle loot isn't to the degree that Archaon, or I guess the Warriors of Chaos or the Greenskins get, so we're running around with fewer armies than we would perhaps like. Just by virtue of that, as otherwise we'd have a lot more armies running around, but we're getting to it, The Fimir army will be soon coming. Just gotta knock out Siggy, delete Malignance, and get on that ASAP. We also have, let's see, well, let me just see here. We also have the other Toad Dragon and the other unit of Rot Knights, which we definitely want to put into this army, and you have space for them. At which point we would be separating away from the Fimir as well by popping them into the other army, though Mornhowl needs to join that army as well, and he will be back in 3 turns, though I suppose since they will be recruiting some Fimir and Wyrkin from our allies, and then that can happen later. But anyway, we can start on that maybe next turn. For now we gotta end the turn, and outpost upgrade available. Who's outpost? Forbidden Citadel. You actually have everything we want to build out of that, I'm pretty sure. So I think we're okay there for now. At least I don't want to spend the money on it. So let's end the turn and let's proceed. And okay, I hope I didn't forget anything. Well, it's not like there's diplomacy that really matters at the current time, so I think we're okay. Alright, Blessed Dread Reichland Grimgore not attacking us, so his main stack, wherever it is either not near enough or perhaps going after somebody else. Join more against Ostland for 2,000 gold. Sure, but give us even more gold. Okay, he won't be really giving us much more gold, but you know what, we were going to declare war on all the Empire territories anyway, and Ostland is hardly a threat, so why not, we can do that. They've got an army right here, and if they want to send it to Kislev, we'll come right back and kill it. What do we have here? Oh no, side with somebody again? Oh man. That's always a concern. Gorkmer Threehorn crashes into your tent, drenched in blood and howling accusations of his beastmen being slaughtered in the thick of battle by their ally Kargan the Crazed. Upon questioning, Kargan does not deny it. In fact, his manic grin seems to indicate that he enjoyed every second. Side with Kargan, the beastmen were expendable chaff that got in the way of the far superior warriors of chaos, and nothing more. Side with Gorkmer, move Kargan to another part of the battle lines. If he is running amok, this will limit the collateral damage he can cause. Makes sense considering we sent him with Norvegica. Side with Gorkmer. Oh, this better not screw us over in some way. Alright, Ally Confederation, Ally attacks army, swell. Technology researched, alright. Game, you're gonna screw us over. Plague, 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 plague. Man-hater, aligned. Gorkmer, income from raiding faction-wide, that's swell, if only we were raiding a little bit more, but that's fine. Fealty increase for Gorkmer, yes. Hey, we didn't get screwed over by that, good. I'm still paranoid about getting that anti-corruption thing again or something similarly horrible for us, but it looks like we're okay. Alright. Tamurkhan, I guess you're going straight to Viteva. And just to take it, I mean, we don't really care about it or any of these territories, but they're on our path to the Empire. Frankly, well, this is actually a good reason to have the Ephemer army ready to go. Okay, let's just talk about this for now. Because we can use them to capture garbage stuff and do so twice as fast without Tamurkhan wasting nearly as much time. Alright, wait, let's see if we can make this happen this turn. So, first of all, Valmir's at the Silver Tower of Sorcerers. You can go there and attack him, I think. Yes, yes. Any reason not to do this? I don't think so. The other way would be going down to the Palace of Princes, but if we take it, it would cause a rebellion at the Twisted Towers, which ain't necessarily a good thing. Either way, Epidemius, go here. Are you able to reach him, Malignance? You are not. Alright, wait. Let's just... Do we need to fight this? Honestly, this doesn't seem worth our time. It's kind of weak. Auto-resolve it. Oh, this better not screw us over. Auto-resolve? Nah, it's fine. It's fine. And occupy. Nice. We'll take it to tier 2, and this is yet another one of these gem places, which means +1 of every single type of hero, and recruitment nearby, considering these guys need some more recruits, including some more cultists. This is perfect. We can also upgrade you, but we could... we got this growth and upkeep plague, but it does nothing for our construction reduction. We could upgrade you. Sugi's still here. Valkia's reasonably friendly. This is all ripped apart into... I don't know why they made everything ruin over there, but we could possibly take the place of that. Alrighty, so the way to do this is we could take the Palace of Princes right now. In fact, it's occupiable. Huh. Okay, wait, let's see if I can do this right. You, Slug Blister, for 1 turn are going to return to the Twisted Towers. Malignus, I hope I don't get you killed. We're going to send you and your Pox Riders to occupy this for free. And... is there an army here? I don't see an army. Okay, do it. Now you have the entire territory, which will rebel, therefore we can collect the income for a turn, because it's going to rebel anyway. And pop it into Plague God's Nursery as well. The plague spreading here is... oh, you have the construction cost reduction plague. Folly of Malefics. That means we can build this at 2.1k rather than whatever the normal cost is. 4.5k, 3.8k, yeah, not bad. Wait, actually, there was something I wanted to see. Not Plains of Zun by Jin, but the Writhing no, not the Writhing Fortress. Damn, there was a place. The Howling Monolith. 6.8k. Okay, yeah, you just got the Plague as well. Yes, yes, perfect. I did want to upgrade you, though it's ludicrously expensive, but so is everything, apparently, when you're playing Nurgle. You'd think Nurgle would be more inclined to spread the love. Maybe collect the income here and force it to rebel. But we don't want to wait here for 2 turns. We could bounce back here after taking the Fortress of the Damned. I guess while we decorrupt all of these places, we're going to have to bounce back and forth a few times. I guess we can send Epidemius first to Blood Mountain and then have him join up with the Rash Rush and the other Pox Riders to trade out or delete the Plague Toads. I was originally going to possibly send the Plague Toads to Slug Blister, but at the same time, I don't think it's necessary. Anyway, that's all fine. Now what we want to do is get a new Lord up and running here at Vateva. Azubor with Unearthly Reflex. And I think I'm going to go a regular Sorcerer Lord rather than a... or a regular Lord rather than a Sorcerer Lord. Yeah, the Sorcerer Lord would be nicer probably because it has healing and stuff. But I feel like I want at least one regular Chaos Lord, you know? On the other hand, I also feel like Sorcerer might be more inclined to lead the Beastman as opposed to a regular Lord. Gulator will be a Sorcerer Lord here. You know what, let's have Azubor lead them for now, and then later on, if we switch him out to a different lord, then, well, then that's what we'll do. What I want you, sir, to do is go to Wintertooth, and I would like you to recruit 1 Great Weapon Fimir, and 1 regular Fimir, and I guess a couple of the Skin Wolves. Wait, how many Skin Wolves do we get out of our own Chieftain thing? Let's just see here. It's probably not enough. So we get 1, then we'll get a 2, and then 3. We'll get 3. So I guess we want at least 1 more, so a 4th. And we can do that next turn. And then maybe either a Mammoth or another Ice Dragon or something like that. I think we get 2 of these anyway. Great Frost Dragon, Great Frost. Yeah, we get 2 of these anyway, and plenty of Fimir. How many Mammoths do we get? 1 Feral Mammoth, 2 Feral Mammoths. No, 3 Feral Mammoths and 2 War Mammoths. We could give them a War Mammoth Shrine. We could build a Shrine War Mammoth, or we could just build another War Mammoth and keep the Shrine to possibly a Sorcerer of Nurgle or something like that. I'll think about it. Not super relevant. I mean, it is relevant, it's just not... We'll deal with it later. You, sir, Norvegicus, you need to get to the Eagle areas before our allies take it, so you're gonna march on right here. This will probably not allow you to heal up. And these guys are not going to like the trespassing, but that's their problem. Watch Garth the Cruel declare war on us and attack Norvegicus. Oh, I probably should have killed this caravan here. No, it's too late now. Well, actually, if it continues moving this way, we can still kill it. Or is it moving down this way? I guess it doesn't really matter. Hello. I'm gonna take the Firemouth, eh? No, you do that. Go for it. Ah. This guy's scouting out Kirak Vrag, but it is Gaudis Defentis is up next turn, so we should be okay. And ooh, we definitely want to and need to build a cultist outpost here. Yes, please. Next up, is there anybody who needs to move? As our Doombolt, you're still traveling to Norvegicus, and it will take a reasonably long time, but you can travel down the Uzkalak Canal. Rulek, you are a new exalted hero, and you will join Norvegicus at the Eagle Ares. Let's go past him. And hopefully help him heal up a little bit. I guess we'll forgo Chaos Commander and also get you the Chaos Strategist as well. Also, is it odd that Stentrigen / Locus of Fecundity? Just out of curiosity. Obviously, Epidemius is not a caster, but does he have any kind of regeneration or healing of any kind? Okay, he has regeneration. That's from his Vile Seed. It's not from him himself. Locus of Virulence is a buff. You'd think that he'd have Locus of Fecundity, not just Locus of Virulence. Because otherwise he really needs healing. And both Exalted Heroes and Cultists do, but I guess that's because they're mortals. Well, either way. Either way. We will want to get you Epidemic Outbreak. Yeah, fine. We'll get 1 more point into Epidemic Outbreak, and then we'll go through Inspiring Presence and start buffing up our Plague Bearers. More armor and more melee defense sounds real nice to me. Alright, that all looks good, and I believe we're ready to nearly end the turn. Come to Grandfather, please. Giggle. Plus 15 infections and plague is spread to owned regions. Yes, that's nice because it'll bounce our plagues around and give us more plagues by virtue of those plagues. Nice and plaguey. Dominance is up to 7. What are we missing in terms of units? I don't really care about the chariots right now. We got more units coming in when we do the battle for KAYZK, which we might do this episode. We'll see. Cygors are great, but you're probably going to be the last army, mostly because your allegiance is going to take a while to get to us. We do want more of yours, but we're not looting settlements right now and defeating Skaven Greenskins or dwarfs in battle. That should be a little bit more achievable. Might even send somebody to deal with Karakadrin while we rampage through the Empire, depending on how we separate. But for now, let us see what we can build, specifically money-wise. You have the growth, and the growth is actually pretty good here, so we can ignore you. Nothing money-making here. Blood Marshes, nothing money-making here. We have the money-making thing at Blizzard Peak and Saber Mountain upgrade, but neither of the two has had this plague spread to them. Unfortunately. It's still got duration of 3 turns, so there's still a chance. Maybe we switch briefly to Plague God's Pasture, just so that it hopefully spreads. Plains of Zanbaijin, you are more or less fine at this point. We will be building military buildings there via infection. Noisome Tumor, Tower Flies, has construction reduction and money building. Perfect. Oh, we need those money buildings. And the Forest of Decay is fine. It's got more military structures as well. Next up, we have the Crystal Spires, which does not have the plague. Karak Vrag also does not have the plague. I'm gonna build it anyway. We need the money. And it'll over time still pay for itself regardless of the lack of reduction. Folly of Malapex, you have the construction reduction plague, so we will upgrade you. And that's all the cash. That's all the cash we got. Alright. It'll be bumped up a little bit once we get rid of Malignance, but anyway. Skip. Imminent Rebellion, that's here, but Slugbuster should be able to take care of it, hopefully, without trouble. He also has plenty of points, but that's because we don't exactly know what's going to be in his army, so there is that to consider. We can make him a fighter for now. I mean, he's Slug Blister, and he's definitely going to have beasts and probably some great unclean ones in his army. Oh, we still have to figure out an army that is a little bit more based around Bile Trolls. Now, I suppose we could combine the Bile Trolls with some regular Chaos units, like Chaos Warriors and stuff. That should be a nice classic sort of Warriors of Chaos combination. And funnily enough, I don't think any of the Chieftains buff Bile Trolls in any way, now that I think about it, do they? Like, not in any way whatsoever. Wait. Is that the case? You don't. You just buff men. If somebody buffs them, it's got to be either Mournhowl or Fimir. No. Weirdly enough, you buff the Beasts of Nurgle and not the Bile Trolls. I think perhaps you should buff the Bile Trolls instead, although maybe that would be buffing too many. You buff also the Beasts of Nurgle. Lots of love for the Beasts of Nurgle, I guess. Armor for the Skin Wolves, physical resistance for the Skin Wolves. Yeah, you would work nicely with them as well, but you're getting your own Beastman army. Would be nice to get a Beastman ally, but anyway. Oh, then we can put some Poison Doggos in that army as well, because of more bite and also buffing Beasts of Nurgle. And it works for them. Yeah. Maybe combine them with the Plague Toads, just as some fragile units in that army. Fragile, cheap units. The cheapness is also nice. But anyway, I don't see anything for Bile Trolls. But for now, it's irrelevant. And we can end the turn, assuming there's nothing important diplomatically. And I don't imagine there would be. Decadent Host really wants to piece out. How much money? 8k, it's not bad. We could leave them one territory. Eventually, Valkia would come for them and kill them. The thing is, they'd probably just declare war on us, and ooh, yeah, there's lots of islands around here. Oh, look at all that money floating out there. In fact, we should keep an eye out for Skull Islands. Island, but not of the scullular variety. Corn, please, bless us. Be Nurgle's bestie. No? Okay, I don't see any Skull Islands. At least none nearby. Oh well, not a big deal. Let's end the turn and let's keep on going while Azabor recruits, and hopefully we can keep him safe while he does so, though frankly he's a newly acquired lord, and if anything happens to him, it's not going to be a big deal either way. Valmir von Raukov. Go back to Castle von Raukov. Will you go to Kislev is the question, and will we have to chase you down with Tamurkhan? I didn't see whether he moved already or not. Coadil is back. He's moving away from Zavastra, interesting. Oh no, another thing. These things make me so nervous. The Chaos Dwarf contingent in your camp keeps mostly to itself, refusing to share the knowledge of its technology among their inquisitive allies, much to KAYZK Fimdirak's chagrin. Now the Fimdirak petitions for a change of circumstance. He claims there is much he could do for your cause, if only he had access to the fabled industrial knowledge. Side with KAYZK, Secrets of the Darklands gives us 25% to research, and his fealty. Knowledge is a weapon, it's always better to be armed. The other option is ammunition plus 100% for all missile units and all armies in your faction. It's terrible. For 7 turns, who cares? This should be permanent. This should be a permanent buff. And this should be a permanent buff as well. Ooh, 25% research for 7 turns. Yeah. I feel like there's not enough of these for these to be relatively weak like that. Versus fealty with Azar Doombolt. Disregard KAYZK's request to Chaos Dwarfs are trusted allies and not to be trifled with. I hope this doesn't do a reverse where it just destroys the ammunition of all of our units. Ooh, what we do want... Okay, so here's the other issue. KAYZK is basically maxed out, so the fealty with him isn't actually worth much. He will maximize his fealty by virtue of the researching technologies, whereas Ezar is currently tied with Mournhowl as our lowest fealty lord. Meaning, despite the fact that this is better, we're going to side with Ezar instead. Caravan arrived. Faction destroyed Spirit of the Jungle. Cult manifests in Gorger Rock. Huh. Is there anything that Cult can do to destroy this and turn it to us? A random plague will be given to this settlement. Cult is destroyed. Infections 10... When growth per blah blah blah, infections 5. I mean, we could temporarily build this until... Oh, it's when any lord is present. I'd rather not spend the 500 money right now. Gorger Rock, yeah, that's it. Alright, and oh wow, this guy got close. Tamzat. I was like, what the heck? You get Eaglarius, Norvegicus, and we'll pop Rulek into your army as well. And then loop back around. Okay, just wait, game, just wait. Rulek wants to play. He needs the XP. There we go. And now we... Really? The Marauders will... Okay, we'll just manually do that. I might do it off screen, depending on what else we do this particular turn, because it's obviously a horrific waste of time. Next up, Tamurkhan. Alright, I got a job for you, sir. What we want to do... Okay, wait, just out of curiosity, do these guys cost anything? No. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. This is gonna be so costly. Toad Dragon and Rod Knights in. It's 900 gold per turn, but what can you do? We gotta make new armies, even despite the cost. Then we are going to KAYZK the Befouled. We're going to fight this. And then we're going to separate some units from the army. Fat Sod. Okay. Alright. A great unclean one, Lord of Stench and Bile, the burping enormity and most rotund of the host, has been recently blessed by Nurgle with enormous proportions. Unfortunately, its insatiable appetites have also grown exponentially, and it has taken to snacking on the mortal warriors of Nurgle's warband. Gloriously unholy or not, Fat Sod must be dealt with. The most zealous followers of Chaos may see their devouring as a blessing, but the chieftains cannot accept such losses if Nurgle's rot is ever to be spread across the land. And this gives us some money, which is swell. And some dominance, which is potentially swell as well. Yes, swell with Nurgle's love. Infections plus 100. Could at least bump up the infection numbers. Give us like 300. I mean, damn. Anyway, teleport. Alright, nice little quest, lots of Nurglings, lots of demonic troops, but Tamurkhan and his brand new pet can handle it, I'm sure. Go.
The hunger of the great unclean ones is legendary, but this one turns its appetite on its own. For that, Nurgle will have me put it down. Father has a fresh corpse.
Hey, alright, I was not expecting the speech there, so I'm definitely pleasantly surprised by that. Also, we've got a brand new friend for Bubabolos. Bubabolos just felt so alone for so long, but it's nice now to have another toad dragon and join the fray. You get pets, little guy. And we'll get a third one on field as well. And, is it just the color scheme, or, I just wanted to compare their size. Yeah, they're probably about the same. For a second I thought that this guy might look bigger, but I think it just might be the fact that is a little bit more visible. Also matches very nicely with the Nurglite skies. Much less green and more pukish, and then Bubabolos says, anyway, speaking of pukish, we're gonna start the battle up by sending these two in and puking up that unspeakable foulness upon the lines of enemy Nurglings and such kind of... Oh, you're just gonna jump into the mouth of that toad dragon? Yeah, you know what, that seems about right for Nurgle demons. But anyway, probably not necessary to do this, but it always feels bad not to use the breath abilities, so we might as well. Now, the goal for this battle. The enemy lord is invincible until the 3 plague-ridden that are surrounding this Nurglite obelisk, spire, whatever you want to call this frickin' thing. And what we're going to do is we're going to send the Rot Knights to deal with it, or specifically the Rot Knights to distract and destroy the enemy Forsaken of Nurgle, while KAYZK, our assassin, our hero assassin / lord assassin, kills off all 3 of those plague bears. They're also going to get a little bit of help as out here, and the skin wolves, together with some chariots and Grukmer, are moving around the flanks and are going to go after the third one, though I'm sure KAYZK will be able to get to them before long. Out here, Tamurkhan is serving the purpose of distracting the enemy lord. Since the enemy lord is invincible and cannot be harmed, we're going to have to fight all the other units around him without engaging him in combat and letting him damage our units. Our other toad dragon friend is working away on those enemy Nurglings quite decently by the looks of it. These models are just such menaces because of the ludicrous mass that they have, just jumping around, moving around without a care in the world. Anyway, out here the Rot Knights have surrounded and are quickly ripping those poor Forsaken apart, as the Forsaken just have way too low melee defense to deal with this kind of thing. And the plague-ridden will be bereft of an honor guard or bodyguard, and KAYZK should have no problem at obliterating them. First of them is down to about 1000 HP, 1 HP now, and there's the death animation. The lord or hero loses their heads. KAYZK hits for 1.2k weapon strength with 97 melee attack after all, and that's when he doesn't pop his weapon, or not his weapon, his potion of strength, which gives him another... I'll say bumps him up to 1.5 or 1.6, something like that. He hits real hard. There's a good reason we use him as an assassin. Anyway, the vast majority of Fatsod's army is, for him, unfortunately made up of rather basic units, regular plague bearers and Nurglings. I guess the game wanted us to take this battle, or potentially to take this battle, earlier in the campaign. On the other hand, it's not like we've had him be devoted or pledged or whatever the max fealty thing is for too long, and he's the only one so far. So, yeah. I do wonder whether the other battles of this kind will get more difficult, and I'm excited to hear all those speeches. We got 5 more of these quest-ish battles. Well, no-ish about it. These 5 more of these chieftain quest battles. to go, and I'm very excited about seeing them all. Anyway, out here, it looks like KAYZK is a 2 for 3, and only one enemy plague-ridden remains. Tamurkhan continues distracting the enemy lord, and a few more hits from KAYZK, I'm sure, will bring the plague-ridden down. KAYZK? Where'd you go? Oh, he's not in here yet. Well, he's about to be. There we go. Moving on in, sir. And down goes the enemy, and once again, we will wait politely until he gets up rather than, you know, stabbing him in the back of the head or something. Everybody in the Warhammer world is just so polite. Alright, KAYZK, get to work on this. Where are you turning? There's no what the heck are you doing? Alright, the rot may have affected his brain. He's attacking nothing, maybe seeing visions. I wonder if those hits were actually hitting the enemy lord. Not that it matters all that much, as another hit will bring the enemy down. The plague-ridden loses its head, and with the third one destroyed, the enemy lord is very much invincible. So we're gonna start on him. And Tamurkhan's been working away, distracting him this entire time, preventing Fatsod from killing off any of our units and doing relatively limited damage. Stats on him are pretty solid at 109.87, but it looks like Tamurkhan can simply out-heal any damage dealt to him via this unit. I guess his weapon strength is just too low to take advantage of those stats. As soon as he became invincible, his reinforcements have arrived. Perhaps he panicked and called in some friends to help, and those friends are rotflies, plague drones with death's heads, and I believe plague toads as well. But are they going to get here quick enough to save the big boy as KAYZK moves in to help Tamurkhan? Not that Tamurkhan really needs it, but we may as well bring the Great Unclean One down. Sorry, Great Unclean One, it seems that Nurgle has abandoned you, with you now no longer invincible, or perhaps the Plague Father simply tests you, and like he does Maggot Host. He still loves you, I'm sure. Don't worry, you're not a good unclean one. You're a great unclean one. Oh, I'm so stupid. But anyway, this good or great, he is just about done for with a couple more hits, and the enemy lord will fall. Now, I was hoping that we could still have time to charge and destroy the enemy army, but it looks like with the fall of the Great Unclean One, the entire enemy army pops off, similar to this plague boil, blight boil, that the enemy decided to use in our pile of rot knights, though by the looks of it, it didn't do all that much damage. Spell resistance at 20%, decent armor, probably explains it. Anyway, decisive victory for us, and a nice little battle. Nurgle versus Nurgle beneath Nurglite skies, and with all this Nurglite fauna and craziness around. Though, or would this count as flora? It's kind of between the two, but anyway, at the very least, even if it was sort of like on like, because it's Tamurkhan's army in particular, he's not using demonic units, which still made it different enough, rather than, you know, if it was Epidemius' army in this particular battle, it would just be plague bearers fighting plague bearers, which wouldn't be quite as fun. Also, a great job for your little debut there, Toad Dragon number 2. Ah, beautiful, beautiful post-battle loot. We really needed that extra cash for our new armies, as, damn, things are getting more and more expensive. Anyway, nice little fight. I would have preferred if we would have had to destroy the reinforcing army, but, well, not a big deal. Tamurkhan spent most of the battle distracting Fatsod, so that, well, he still managed to get 30 or 31 kills while doing so. So still not horrible, but I mean, that was the best use of him, right? He was never going to get sufficiently hurt, and we could have just taken a lot more damage to, you know, Chaos Warriors or Chosen, or units that could lose entities, basically, if he wasn't distracting him. Otherwise, great job to KAYZK once more. 3 kills, 3 enemy hero assassinations, as he got rid of all those plague-ridden and helped damage Fatsod later on as well. Nice. We're not going to bother healing up because it was too little damage. Let's offer us tribute and get more money. And another Wait, comptroller. Oh, that's recruitment cost for plague bearers. Eh. I mean, it still will be useful, though. Campaign movement train show an army for devoted for KAYZK, lovely. And favorite of Nurgle for Tamurkhan, devotion secured. Beautiful. Alright, so that has several implications. First of all, just before I forget, Epidemius, we're going to give you that comptroller rather than your... I don't want to lose the Plague Doctor. Alright, fine. Lose the Nurglish Familiar. We'll give you the Comptroller for when you inevitably eventually replace some of your units with more, more exalted units. You... Rebellion. Can we reach you? Yeah, I don't know whether this is auto-resolvable or not. If it is, then great. If it's not, I'll do it between the episodes, because obviously it's a waste of time, as the Slug Blister would just kill them all without any issue. You, sir, need to... if you leave this place, it'll most likely rebel. The military presence is giving us 10. But it won't rebel immediately, so we should still probably make our way down to the Fortress of the Damned. You could hit Blood Mountain immediately, or you could probably reach this place faster. Now, the thing is, you probably need to get to Malignance, and we can loop back around to Blood Mountain. I definitely don't want to pay the full price for it. And we need to get rid of Malignance either way. So, you're going to go here to Epidemius. You're going to trade the Toads. Like so. And you and the Toads can go bye-bye now, just because we have better things to build than Plague Toads. Sorry, Plague Toads. Maybe in another army, maybe in another time, maybe in another life. Alright. Epidemius, you're good as you are now, and Slug Blister, you can deal with that. Though, wait, okay. This is the main implication of all this. Tamurkhan, you are now going to trade to Mr. Azabor. You are going to trade Mr. KAYZK, and you are going to trade your single unit of skin wolves. I'm gonna give them the chariot. I think we can give a couple of the. We can give the chariots to Grukmar instead. I think that's the way we do it. Together with the Pestigores, makes more sense to me. All right, this will give us the ability to get. Wait. Let me just double check here. And Tamurkhan's chieftains, yeah, we can get another Toad Dragon and even more Rot Knights. Do we need more Rot Knights? No. Do we want more Rot Knights? Always. But at the same time, well, maybe one more Rot Knight, because we do want another Toad Dragon as well. Let me just see what we have room for. We're at 18 out of 20. We're going to lose Grukmar, and we're going to lose this unit of Pestigores. Assuming those two get replaced by Ogres, we should still probably have enough. 1, 2, 3 can be replaced by Ogres. And then we'll have 6 Ogres. Plus 5 Rot Knights, plus 2 Toad Dragons. That'll be the final form of his army. I think that'll work. Anyway, you're gonna go to Zavastra, and then we'll get to Beckhofen next. I still don't see a Wood Elf army, so I think you're still okay. Move over here, and we'll see where these guys go right after. And then this army should actually be up and running fairly quickly, also fairly expensively, mind you, but fairly quickly. The thing is, we have already available... Okay, wait, I was going to take a look at the Chieftain thing. We already have available 3 Fimir, so we can pop them into the army immediately. And you still need you still need to grow, but we're working on it. Oh, actually... You have the 2 Fimir being constructed, and we could construct more... Oh, did I never build the outpost with these guys? Oh, I didn't. Oh wait, I think at the time they weren't able to recruit Fimir or Skinwolves. You have Feral Mammoths now and Giants. I see no Fimir or Skinwolves here. I see no... Oh, I see Skinwolves here, but no Fimir. Oh, Skinwolves are okay. In the sense that we still need them. And Alfari Plan and Doomkeep. Alright, fine. We'll construct the outpost at Doomkeep then. Seems like the safest place to build it, or at least I hope that it is. Wolfric, I hope that you just wipe out Azazel so we don't have to do it for you. Anyway, folks, I think with that, I am going to call the episode. We are once more out of time, and as the interest in this campaign is not as much as the other 2 campaigns, it's so far, or recently has not reached the engagement threshold. Nonetheless, small bite-sized episodes, and we still got 2 battles out of the way. Next time, we will hopefully wipe out the Ostlanders for good. and get this army up and running with both Fimir and Wirkin, and Mornhowl will come back while Norvegicist, who I completely forgot about. Oh wait, I'll do this between the episodes because this is a horrible waste of time against basic units as well. So, stay tuned for more Tamurkhan action. We've arrived in the Empire and we're going to start popping off these quest battles for all of his chieftains soon. KAYZK maybe even next episode, as he's nearly done as well. Should be fun. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.